Selamat datang everybody, welcome to my tiny kitchen here at Pisang Susu. Today we're gonna make Bika Ambon, like this. The things you need for this Bika Ambon are 85 grams of tapioca flour, 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon of yeast, quarter teaspoon of turmeric, quarter teaspoon of salt, 85 grams of sugar, 3 kaffir lime leaves, 2 pandan leaves, and 170 milliliters of coconut milk. We're going to start by cutting the pandan leaves and the jeruk purut, the kaffir lime leaves, in smaller pieces because it needs to go into the coconut milk. It will give its flavor to the milk and it will go faster, you know, when you cut it into pieces. Coconut milk. There you go. And now we're going to heat this up. Don't really bring it to the boil, but heat it up just before or just when you see little bubbles. Now we're going to make the batter for our cake. It needs 3 eggs and we're going to whip it up with, with our mixer. I'm going to use my mixer with 1 whisk because later I'm going to add the tapioca flour and it doesn't need much fluffing up anymore, so it's easy to start with 1 whisk to mix the eggs now until fluffy. Now I'm going to add the quarter teaspoon of salt and all the sugar. The mixture with the kaffir lime and the pandan, this is such a good combination with coconut. So it is really hot now, almost boiling, so now we have to cool it down, otherwise your yeast in your batter will die. So I leave the leaves in. The temperature is, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Now it's of course too hot and we have to let it cool until 45 degrees. Now it's bubbly enough, it's lighter in color. Now we're going to add the tapioca flour. And you have to take care, be gentle, don't whisk out all the air we put in. So we're going to add a few tablespoons and then on low setting mix it. Now my coconut milk has cooled down until 45 degrees Celsius, so it's time to add it to the batter we've got here. The pandan and the kaffir lime leaves are still in it. So here we go. So now I'm going to add the yeast. And yeast needs warmth. That's why the coconut milk is still warm. Now the yeast is in there and it's mixed well. And this needs to prove for 2.5 hours. It has been proven for an hour. And now I'm going to check it. Look, you see all the bubbles? That's really good. That's exactly what you need. And then the sugar has moved to the bottom. So I will mix it again. Just a little bit. So now the final stage of proving. I've got here a pie dish. It's 20 centimeters in diameter. And I have to heat it up. I have some boiling water here. Leave it just for a while. Take a piece of parchment paper and go like this. Take the water out. It's nice and warm. That's good for the yeast. Parchment paper. Now it needs to prove again for about 30 minutes. And then we're gonna pop it in the oven. It has proven for 2.5 hours. Look, it looks like this now. I have to place it in the oven. The oven is warm at 160 degrees Celsius. I have to place it on the lowest rack. The heat is only from the bottom, so that's the setting of your oven. 35 minutes and then it's almost done. So now take your Bika Ambon out of the oven, place it in the middle of the oven, turn it on regular heat, so that's heat from below and above, and turn the heat on to 180 degrees Celsius. Cool down my Bika Ambon and I want to see if the inside has those beautiful lines. So we're gonna cut it open. And there you have it. Look at this. Perfect. perfect. These stripes, these lines, they appear because of yeast. This cake, it tastes moist, but it doesn't contain any butter or gluten, so it's a friendly cake. Tapioca, it's so nice. Great flour, really delicious. Selamat makan.